I'm speaking with Rajeev Sharma, who is a director of Golden Warp, a company that's been well established for many years in Australia. How long would that be, Rajeev?
It's in 1995. That was the year we came to live here in Australia. We made this as a home.
19 years.
Yeah, 19 years.
Yeah.
So I set up the company, in fact, the first week that I arrived here. And that was my intention to do.
So is it for you? Is it a family?
It's a family business. Yeah, I started my career as a soldier in the Indian Army, and after I left that, I came into the textile business. And then I came to live here in Australia. That is what I wanted to do, was just to produce some good quality bed linen.
Oh, I'm glad you did. I have some questions to ask about your new collection, but I also want to ask you something about sheets. But we'll get to that in a minute. This collection here, I love it. It's beautiful. What is this, cotton or linen?
Yeah, this is 100% cotton, but this is yarn dyed. The fabric, the base fabric is yarn dyed. As you can see, there are probably a couple of shades you can see.
It's a lovely soft look. So when you say yarn dyed, you mean that the yarn is dyed before it's woven?
Before it is woven, yeah.
Okay, so and that's why you get that sort of soft.
Yeah, so in the warp we put a different colored yarn, and in weft we just put the off-white color, so it gives two shades. So that's what the peculiarity of chambray fabric is.
Oh, okay, lovely. And the cushions, beautifully embellished.
Yeah.
What are they beaded? The cream ones at the front?
Yeah, that's the embroidery, and that is a metallic embroidery. So the yarns are mixed with metallic yarns.
Oh, I thought that was beaded. It's actually just in the embroidery.
Yeah. So the kind of embroidery which is there, it gives you the three-dimensional view of the whole thing, and it just gives you the textured look, and which goes along with some of the features which are there in the quilt cover. In the duvet cover, we don't want to use too much of metallic embroidery because it would not go very well with washing and caring. So it is just has been embellished.
Just a feature to tie in.
As a feature, and these cushions would highlight the features. And same goes with the laser cut cushions. These cushions are...
Now that looks like it.
Yeah.
What sort of fabric is that?
That's it's a faux leather. We first thought we will use leather, pure leather, but then the pure leather would probably be smelling and would not be easy to care. So we use faux leather. We have treated the surface with different kind of surface treatments, and then use the laser to cut the surface. And then
it's a little mottled, like
muffled,
it. So has that been hand sprayed on AGHA?
No, it was before it was cut.
Before it was cut?
Yeah. So the laser cut, so these are laser cut cushions as such. So it just highlights the design, and it just makes the whole bed look nice.
It ties together beautifully. And the bed cover here, is that a satin or a polished cotton?
Yeah, that is a cotton satin a fabric which has been and then has been quilted, and then the backing fabric is also 100% cotton. So there's some polyester and some cotton content into the bedspread. So once the bed can be made and can be layered, and it's mostly, I would say, this kind of a design is probably a master bedroom design where you would expect your like a guest room, and then you can just layer the bed with different kind of cushions.
Blow the guess. I think I'd like it in my bedroom.
Yeah, why not?
Why the mix? Well, you said this is a mix of polyester and cotton. Is that for ease of cleaning, or is it to give it the sheen?
Yeah, it is easy. No, the sheen is from the weave. So as you see the weave, the way fabric has been woven, that gives out the sheen into the fabric.
Now, can we talk about something that confuses a lot of people, and that's the whole thread count issue, which has become a big deal lately. Everyone's sort of wanting 1,000 thread counts, but
1,200
we were talking about it earlier. That's not necessarily an indication of a high quality product, or B, what you necessarily is necessarily best in hot weather. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think the thread count has probably become synonymous to the quality of the fabric and the sheets, and it used to be more of an American thing, which was being used a lot as a marketing tool. But I also personally feel that it is not necessary that the higher thread count means a more comfort level. Especially for Australian climate, I think, which is mostly warm or not
humid.
very warm, humid to warm. I think it's the cross weave probably is more suitable, or up to 400 thread count sheets. It should be very comfortable to sleep on. In summers, it may be just the cross weave, crisp cotton, and in the winters we can have the sateen weave, which normally can be only achieved in 600 thread counts and above. So 500 or 600 thread counts and above, if you want to have a higher thread count, you have to go in for sateen weave. And sateen weave is not the most comfortable weave for summers. So,
because the lower the thread count, more air is allowed to circulate around the body.
So the cross weave is probably the weave where the body can breathe very nicely. So for summers, I think 400 thread count to 50 thread count, that's good enough. And if you want to have a comfort and easy maintenance, easy care, you can go for polycotton. 100% cotton may require a little bit of ironing. And there is also the new technology has come in which gives wrinkle-free or no iron surfaces. But on a cotton surface, I don't think, because it involves a lot of use of chemicals. So the 100% cotton gets a lot of chemicals into it, which I don't think is really required. So.
Now, can you explain to me why we love flannelette sheets in winter, and how do you get that flannelette texture?
Flannelette actually is 100% cotton fabric, which is traditionally being used, and it probably started in Australia and world over as the ideal fabric to be used for kids, for babies, because the fabric has been brushed, so there is a nap which is in flannelette, and that makes the bed really cozy and comfortable. But slowly that from the kids and babies, it has now jumped into the adult bedding, and it's a very nice fabric. But preparing a flannelette sheet set one has to be very careful, because the basic strength of the fabric is very important, because by brushing we are trying to weaken the basic surface of the fabric. So if the quality of the fabric is not very good, the flannelette sheet set probably after 1 or 2 seasons would just tear apart and
lose its fluff.
So what we have tried to bring in is the age-old the twill weave, which used to be, and the twill weave inherently is a very strong fabric and does not tear apart, so it has got a longer life and longer washing life also. So we are using a lot of twill weave, 180 GSM, which is a heavier GSM fabric, and also doing the sheet sets and the duvet covers, as you can see, in yarn dye.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us and for showing us your beautiful collection. There's a lot more pieces to the collection, of course, but we're just featuring one here today. The rest of which you can see on your website.
Yes. Yeah, we do a lot of products under our own brand, but we do a lot of home brands also for other retailers in their brands, and we try to supply the best quality flannelette and other sheet sets and duvet covers to various retailers here in Australia and New Zealand.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.